assignment.
Okay.
Task 1, use a pivot table and the pie chart to visualize the shipping modes and total profit. So I'll start with that. And if you remember, I said first thing you do is to insert a pivot table. I don't need to go over this again. I believe many of you would have gotten this the last time, unless you did not do the assignment. Okay, so I said we should use shipping mode and total profit. So which is here, ship mode. Then we have the total profit. Okay, then I said I wanted it to display percentage. So you come here, show value as, come here to the calculation, percentage of column total. And I may be a bit fast though, but this one I don't need to go over this since we've done this before. So now I want to insert my pivot chart, which was a pie chart. Okay. And then should show me data label. So and it's very simple, very straightforward. Very simple and very straightforward. So how many of you did yours like this?
Yes, so
Okay.
Man, the
I did mine
percentage.
like this.
The percentage again, man.
Mine
I
was
did
like
this
this.
before. I did this before now. For the
My
percentage, you
price
just
are
come.
don't display percentage.
That is because we did not do the percentage of the table. What I told you to do was you come to the pivot table here, all right? The column header, this sum of total profit, you click on it. Then you go to where you see show value as. You click on it.
Okay.
Then you now come to this place, show value as. Initially, it was stated as no calculation. That was how it was. So I came here and I moved
I'm
it
not
to.
hearing what you're saying, man.
Can you guys hear me now?
yes, we
Your
can.
voice
Yes,
low.
Yes, ma, we
yes.
can hear
Loud
you.
and
Your voice
clear.
Can hear
low.
you.
I think it's your network. So I came here and I worked on. I clicked percentage of column total, and I said okay. So that is how I got this percentage that we have here. Then you can come here and rename it whatever it is you want. So we can say let's say profits by ship mode. Profits by ship mode. So this one is very clear. All right. So for the next one was the company management has decided to give gifts to overall 10 best customers. As a company's data analyst, use a pivot table to extract the names and total sales values of the 10 best customers. So this one too is also very straightforward. Let me do it down here. Insert a pivot table. Okay. So it said I think it was customer's name, customer name and sales, total sales. So we have customer name and we have total sales, but it's too much. So if you want to get the top 10, you just come here, you click the drop down, all right? Then you come here to value filters, then you come to this place, top 10, all right? Then you ensure here is showing, so sometimes it's possible your table might have profits and sales. You understand? That is why you also have to check this place. And since we say we want to display top 10, we're working, we use this top 10 as I mean it was top 5, we put 5 here, but we want top 10 actually, so we're good with that. Then the item, then it's saying by what? Assuming we had sum of profit in this table as well. So you have options to maybe choose to get the top 10 based on profit, but we want to work with the sales. So I'll click on OK. And it has given me my pivot table. So now I can insert a bar chart based on this. So I've clicked it. I'm coming to, okay, so I'll go to my bar chart here and I can select the first one. Now we have okay, which is good here. Just that this bar chart now is not, it's not very nice. Let me delete this. To make it look presentable, you need to clear all this stuff that is on your chat. Yobosa, you can ask your question. So I'm hiding all field buttons on chat. Ask your question, Yobosa.
Oh, sorry, it was the first question I asked. I told you about that my pie chart wasn't displaying percentage.
Okay, but you understand the way I did that one now, right?
Yes, no, understand. Thank you.
All right.
So please, the name showing on that. I don't know if you can zoom in a little because
Is it this?
yeah,
Is it better?
I think the numbers are showing on that. The amounts are showing on that.
Yes. Yes.
And those amounts, is it up to 10?
Yeah, the amount will not be up to 10. It's just a range. Not the way this one is showing, I don't know. It's just a range. It's not going to be
Because
up.
that's what's the issue was that my amount is not up to 10.
Is this
The names
one?
are up to 10.
It's the names that
It's
are
the names
supposed
that
to be
need
up
to be
to
up to 10, not the amount.
But it's not each name with this says each name with its total says.
No. If you want to see the sales, what you will do is you will come here, but we don't want to see that. So we'll come here and then you come to this cross sign here, and then you click on I think it's data label, yeah. So I'll click on data label. Can you see? So you can see all their individual values for each person. But we don't need that because it makes this thing look very, it makes it look very rough. Exactly. So it's not nice. We don't need to show that. Sometimes you might want to show it too. Let's say
Well, sorry, I
yeah.
showed mine in my assignment too, but it was not
Same here.
displaying in front.
I
It
did
was
show
displaying.
mine.
It was displaying the body of the bar chart. There's a way I formatted the visual, the way I visualized it. So it was displaying in the body of the chart.
It's okay if you want
But
to.
it was not awkward.
It's okay if you want to, but the thing
Yeah, it's
is
displaying the body of the chart, but it's not so nice. It's rough.
exactly it's rough. So you don't need that. That is one. Two. You see the way this chart is looking. It doesn't look nice. Like you're supposed to remove the stress from your consumer, that is your user, the person that wants to use the information, this the person that wants to use this chat. You're supposed to make life easier for the person. So like this is still a bit stressful. Like we don't want to know the top, and you understand. So what you can do is you can sort it so that the chart will change its appearance. So I will go to the table now. All right. This same place, this same drop down here, I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to sort from Z to A. Okay, I've sorted it now. Nothing happened. It didn't remember we did this in last class. It didn't sort based on this total sales. It's sorted based on the names, and we want to change that. We want to change that. So I'm going to go back there. I'll click on that place. Then you come to where you have more sort options. Sorry, I think that was too fast. I've clicked on this. You see where you have more sort options. So I will click on more sort options. Then it brought out this dialog box. So it's asking me how do I want to sort it. It already has descending here. So I'll just come here. When you can see customer name, I will go here. I'll go to this drop down here. Then I'll click on sum of total sales. So I've selected the sum of total sales and I will select OK. Can you see it now? I guess this one now it makes more sense.
Yes.
Exactly. If you don't want it
Yes.
to,
Yes,
you
it
don't want it
does.
to, if you don't want it to be like this, you can let's use ascending and see. You can use ascending. Hold on, it's taking time for
It's better
my
this way.
chart. Yeah, I want it to view by ascending. It's taking time for my chart to display it. Okay, let me go back and do it again. But you guys get the concept now.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes,
We
yes, yes. Makes sense.
Yes, ma'am. We do.
Excuse me,
That's
ma.
what I did.
Go ahead, go ahead.
That's what I
So
did
is
now.
it possible for one to sort first before picking the first top 10?
Okay, that question. I'm going to the question now.
Okay.
Question now. Okay. So I'm going to the question now. I want you to change it so it will anyway. That one will be later. No, that one is not an issue. Just understand this concept. I wanted the orientation to change. You understand? Let the IS be at the top. You get, but it's not it's not allowing me to do that. But you can do that on yours. All right. So for the other question, let me go and see it again. The sales manager of the 3 product categories.
Madam, hello.
Go ahead. I can hear you.
What I did was a column chart,
I
a
said
column bar chart.
I said bar chart.
That chat.
So I specified it there. So you didn't do this.
I did a column bar chart to a column bar chart.
There's no column bar chart. It's either is a column chart or it's a bar chart. A bar
That
chart
was the
is
instruction on the assignment.
exactly a bar chart is the orientation of a bar chart is horizontal. Why a column chart?
It is not.
Oh yeah.
It is
It
not. A
is.
bar chart can be horizontal or vertical. That one, I'm not confused about it at all. The
Okay.
She's just
conventional bar
saying the
chart
one
is
displayed on
is
Excel.
vertical.
She's
The
giving us an
conventional
instance
bar
on
The
chart,
one on
Excel.
Excel. The one on
yes.
Excel.
The one
The
on
one on
Excel,
Excel.
not generally.
Forget what you know already. The one on Excel.
You did
The
not
one on
say Excel,
Excel.
you said bar chart.
On
Mathematically, bar
Excel.
charts
It's Excel we
are
are working with
So it's
now.
vertical.
Excel we're
So
looking
now
at
do
now.
the idea is for us to just have the idea of how to get go about this, not be this thing.
We should
And
learn what is on the Excel, not mathematically, sir. Thank you.
Can we continue?
Yes, ma.
yes, please.
This is what I said. Okay. So if you click on your pivot table, you go to insert. You want to insert a pivot chart. You go to pivot chart. These are the charts available to you in Excel. This here is a column chart. You can see how it is represented. This here is a bar chart. You can see how it is represented. So whichever way you understand it is good. You can do what you understand. All right, so to the next question. The next question, the sales managers of the 3 product categories in the company also approached you and asked you to help them get the names of their 10 best customers based on sales. As the company data analyst, use a pivot table to extract the names and total sales value of the 10 best customers in each product category. All right, now let's do that. So I'm going to insert a pivot table. I'm going to insert a pivot table and want to work with the top. So working with sales as well. That is total sales. Total sales. Then I'm also working with customer name. Customer name and category. Okay, so yours might appear like this in the beginning. So what you do is you come here because now it's taking the names as the first one. It's taking the name as the first one. It's taking the names as the first one and then as the categories as the sub details on that. So we don't want that. You can just come now and then you switch it. So you carry it this way. So when you take it up, you see what I did? I went to the rows. You understand? I went to the rows here and then I carried, I moved category up. Initially, we had this. Initially we had this, but I came here and I moved category up. Okay, so it's showing we have furniture, we have to be too long for me to view though. But what is going to display is okay, let me just zoom out. It's quite much. There's no need for all that. Hold on. So what is furniture? And it will show the product category. Then it will show all the names under the product category. But we don't want to see everything. Now let's all right, and then here you select top 10. I'm working with total sales, so you click OK. All right. So, but it will not. What we did was, because initially, this when you click on this drop down, you will see what appeared at the top here. It's telling you to select field. You understand? It's telling you to select field. What we did now, this top 10 we did now was field. This filter with the top 10 filter we did now was for the category, which is furniture. And so assuming we had more product category, let's say we had furniture, we had office supply, we had technology, maybe we had clothes, maybe we had what other product category can we use now? Let's say we had devices or which exactly. So
Appliances.
exactly, assuming we had more, what we did now was to select the top 10 of the category. But that is not what we want. We want to get top 10 of the total sales. So you see this place here. That's why I said sometimes it can be a bit confusing when you have several columns in your pivot chart. That means you've selected several columns here. So you come here now where you can see select field, and you click on this drop down here. You understand? Then you will now go down and you select customer name. So what is displaying for you now is customer name. So we now want to filter now for the customer name. We want to see the top 10 customers. So I'll go to my value filter here. Then I'll go down to top 10. And then you can see top 10 items based on what total sales. So I'll click OK. All right. So this is how the table now looks. So it's showing the top 10 for each product category. All right. So, but I want to give these details now to three departments. I want to give these details to three departments. You understand? So I don't need the people in office supplies department seeing data from furniture. So what I can do is I can come here. Sorry. I can go to that drop down there. That's that filter arrow there. Then I'll come here and select what I want to see. So let's say I want to see for only the furniture. I'll just go here and I'll remove office supplies and technology. And then it's showing me for only furniture now. So these are the top 10 customers that bought furniture from the company. So what I will do is I will now select this. Instead of stressing myself, going through all that, everything I went through just now, instead of stressing myself of doing that again, and then coming to filter, I'll just copy that pivot table. I'll come here and I'll paste it. Coming. So I've pasted it here. All right. So I will now come in now. Remember this one now, furniture is what is selected. I will now come in now and select office supplies. I will remove furniture. And you can see it's showing me top 10 now for office supplies. So I can still come here as well. That same table.
Okay, it makes sense now. Okay.
That same table. I'll paste it. That same table, oh, sorry, I'll paste it here. Then instead of furniture, I will now change here to, okay, so I need to change this one now from customer name because now I want to work with the category. So I will now change here to what? Technology. So this way, I have 3 pivot tables for 3 different departments. I can decide to copy this one and put in another Excel sheet and give it to the head of furniture department. I'll copy this and give it to the head of office supplies. You get, and they can give the gifts to the customers they want. So if you want to visualize this, it's the same thing like what we did in the other one. So I'll just select it. I asked for a bar chart. So you come to your pivot chart here, and then you look for bar. Yes, go ahead.
I thought we are focusing this on the top best 10, right? Because if you check the one, it's not in proper arrangement.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I thought we are focusing based on the top best 10 customers
Yes.
per category.
Yeah.
And if you look at yours, they are not in order, like either descending order or.
You cannot come and sort it down. You understand? You cannot come and do more sorting options.
But I was thinking that since I was extracted this 10 out of the other list, I was not saying to do your sorting, it's not going to include over that one. And it could be that.
Yeah, that is why Excel is very flexible. So I've sorted it now. Can you see it?
Not the top 10.
These are the top. These are top 10 sales from each department. I've sorted it now. If the confusion is from maybe the confusion is from the figures, so I think we can work on that. Okay, so we'll come to show to the number format. Sorry, then if you want to work with accounting, I did this the other day. So I'll remove the decimal place and I have my dollar sign here and I click OK. And I click OK. So is this clear enough for you? But we don't have to do it for the other list. I just want to just show you what I wanted to see from people. Did anybody do this?
Yes.
No,
Exactly,
I didn't do this.
Yes, I
So
did
my,
it.
But I
I
got
did it.
my question.
So please, can you go over the
I
beginning?
didn't do this. So I just, oh, man.
I did.
I have a question. Oh.
Go ahead with your question.
Can I ask my question?
In a
Go ahead.
situation whereby, can you hear me?
I follow the table, like
Please mute your mic if you're not talking to me. Thank you. Please mute your mic. Doctors, you can go on. Doctors, talk to me.
Okay. How I did mine was it selected the 10 best customers for each of the category and for each of the categories. Like,
okay,
it didn't separate it like furniture, office supply. It didn't bring it out like that. For individual customer, it just brought out furniture, office supply, and technology. You understand? I didn't separate mine like this. I don't know if I'm making sense. Do you understand?
Yeah, you are making sense, but the thing is,
yes, you are. It is separate for me. All I did was to see. It is separate. Just listen to me, Doctors. It is separated for me. This is how the original table looks like after I've this is how it looks like. So it's the same thing if maybe I decide that I want to copy this table like this and paste it in 3 different places. Then when it now comes to the filter here, I use the filter to remove it.
Okay.
You get, so I clicked on this filter icon here. Then I went down and I removed what I didn't want to see. A filter gives you the opportunity to get some things and take out what you don't want.
Okay.
You get,
yes.
So you remove what you don't want and leave what you want. So I just remove office and I remove technology, and I said okay, and it's showing me for only furniture. So in the second table, I removed furniture and I remove technology, and it's showing me for only office supply.
Okay.
Do you get? So I did everything from the beginning. I don't want to go over what I did again. You understand?
Yes.
So it's like saying I did everything from the beginning, but I just took out some things I didn't want so that I can present this to this department and present the other one to the other department.
Okay.
You understand? So if you are to insert a bar chart, come to your insert.
Ma, please, can I ask my
Go ahead and
question?
ask your question.
So is it possible to create different pivot table for the way it is like this? But you created pivot table for both for
Yeah.
furniture so separately.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
it's possible.
because that's what I did actually. I created
It's the same.
separately, worked it like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. It's the same thing, but I just showed you the easier way, or better still, the easiest way to do it. Instead of going to start from the beginning again, you can copy and paste your pivot table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No
Oh,
problem.
yeah, I didn't
Thank
know
you.
that.
Yeah. So
I went to Peter.
for the furniture, so these are the top 10 customers for the furniture department. So I can give this one now, this data now to whoever needs it, and that's it. So you just still do the same. It's the same process. So it's the same thing. It's repetitive. You can just do the same thing for um. You can do the same thing for. Please mute your mic. Please mute your mic. Otherwise, you have issues when you're watching the video. You won't be able to get me. All right. So you can do the same thing for this one. You insert a pivot chart, which is a bar chart, which is what I requested. So I can do this, and then I may sort this one. So you can see it looking this way. Let me sort it. Let me sort it from. So I can sort it this way, and then it will change it for me. So this is it. I'll remove this. I'll remove the fields. All these things you have on the field. Let me take this out so you guys can see that. So this is what I needed you guys to do for the assignment. I know this one.
Madam, sorry, what I did is completely wrong. I just moved the values into the subtotal and the rest into the value table on the pivot table, into the value. No, wala, no, wala.
Add was asking a question or did not understand what I wrote there when I mentioned bar chart. You get when you come here, yeah, oh yeah, you know other analysis tools like Power BI and I think Python as well. You only have a bar chart. You don't have a column chart. You understand? So what you do is you have the option to change it. You have the option to switch the orientation. To change it if you want it to be horizontal or you want it to be. Let me insert a chart so you guys understand what I'm saying. Pivot chart. Okay. So with other tools, you have the option to switch it. This is a column chart now, but in Excel, this is a column chart. In other tools, you have only bar chart. You have only a bar chart. Then you have the opportunity to make it horizontal, like the way it's looking now, or make it vertical as you want. But I didn't want it to be vertical, and I know why. I didn't want to use a column chart because I didn't want to be looking like this. You can make. I didn't want the names to be looking like this. You can see the way it is. It's not straight. You can also format this chart and then make it straight. But you can see the way the names are long. This person's name we joined. Let me just do it for this one. This person's name we joined. You can make this thing straight too, but you will not be bending your head, which to me is unnecessary. Then this person's name, who is this? Becky Martin. I'm trying to bend my head to see it. Becky Martin's name will be joining Bill Shonley. then we just, and you don't need that. So when you have long names, you are not supposed to use. You can use it. Let me not say you're not supposed to use what suits you. You are the analyst, but my own advice is if you know you the names of what you want to show is long, I don't see why you should use this chat. Unless it's unavailable, but it's your choice. All right. So thank you. So I this. So if you don't get it, just watch videos. You'll be able to get it. This one is assignment now. It's not part of the main class, and I've exceeded the time I planned for the assignment in the first place. So let's move now to our main class. Okay. So people have questions. I can see or Uche or so. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. Ask your question.
Yeah, that's me. When you did the top 10, when you were going through the top 10,
Yeah.
there's a place where they write items, sum, and percentage. What's the difference between item and sum?
Okay, there's no difference between item and sum. There are two things. I'm trying to let me check. You mean when I did value filters, right? When I came here to the top 10?
Yes, the drop down on items.
There's okay, the drop down for the items here.
Yes.
Are you see? Okay, so if you select percentage here, what will be displayed will be different. The display will be slightly different. Hello? Hello?
I can hear you, ma.
Hello?
Ma, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma, I can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you, can hear you.
I can hear you, ma.
I can hear you.
Hello? Okay. That part most times is when you have multiple columns. When you have multiple columns that you're working with. But for a simpler table like this, just leave it as it is there. Items. The major thing you should change if you want to is for this part where you have bottom. So like we want to see the highest sales. That's why we use top. If you want to use the lowest sales, that is from the back, you can use bottom. You understand? Then this one is the number of items you want to be displayed. That is number of values you want to display on your pivot table. This one most times you would not have to deal with this. Then the other one which is the main thing that I brought you here is the other table in which you want to filter by. Like let's say I explained to you, I said if you have profit on this table, assuming we had, we have sales here, assuming we had profit, total profit attached to this table, you will see two options based on what you want to filter the table by. But if you ask me, the easier your table is, the easier your chart will be. And the easier your chart, the clearer your chart, the easier your chart is, the clearer it will be for your user. You don't need to complicate things and make it too difficult for whoever wants to. If you're showing a dashboard, somebody should be able to just understand, to just get insight, to understand the message you are passing just by looking at it. But when you have too many things, it will confuse the person. You understand? So the simpler, the better. You get. So
I wanted to ask.
Was it clear
a
to you?
question
You see. About what?
Okay, my question was
Hello?
on, when you started
when you had those three tables stacked on top of each other, I didn't understand how you got to that point before you now separated the tables when you did the copy and paste.
Oh,
before you split the tables up.
You mean when it was like this? I mean, I'm okay with the right table. Hold on. It's not even supposed to show this one selected.
Just use Control Z now. Go back to Control Z.
Okay. So this is what you're talking about, right? The person that asked the question.
Yes, exactly.
So
I don't understand how you got this. No, before this point. From this point, yes, before this point is what I didn't get.
Okay. Before this point, we did not have any filter. It's not going to give me options to clear filter. I've over filtered it. Before we got here, this is how the table looked.
No, okay.
Yes,
there was a place.
Yes, I can see.
Before we got to that point, the table looked like this. All right. It had what the table was displaying was displaying the furniture, the office supply, and what's the last category, and technology. It was showing all the customers under each category. But we don't want to see all the customers under each category. We want to see just the top 10 customers based on sales. You understand? So what we did was we went to this drop down that is here. This drop down that is here. We clicked on it. Can you see it?
Yes.
Right now, you can see that. You can see what is here now because we want to filter. I want to work with value filter and get the top 10. But before we get here, since you have multiple fields, that is, you have more than one column on your pivot table. Yes, I want to just the numerical column now and the descriptive column. That is, we're not dealing with just the sales and the category. We also have customer name added to it. So we have two descriptive columns. That is two text columns and one numerical column. So if you see here now, select field. If you select field here, we have two options now to select what we want to filter by, what we want to see the top 10 of, which is category and customer. What we want to see is top 10 customers, not top 10 category. We want to see top 10 customers.
Yes.
So let's customer name here. Then you go down to value filters. And then you go to your top 10. And then you can see top 10 items. Then sum of sales. Based on them, want the top 10 to be based on their sum of sales. And then I clicked OK. And it then I went here now because I want to see for only customers now. I want to see the values for only furniture. Let me go. You see now it's displaying for furniture supply and the last category. I want to see for only furniture. Initially, just now, it was showing customer name like this. So if you want to filter based on customer name, you come here, you select customer name, you filter. Like maybe you don't want to see some people's name, you can remove it from here. But want to filter based on category. So I've clicked on category, and then I want to see for only furniture. And then I clicked OK, and it gave me that. So I can decide create this table and then do whatever I want to do with it.
Use the filter to now bring out the different sets of.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So we're done. This was where we stopped in our last class. This is where we stopped in our last class. So we're done bringing out all these visuals and all these pivot tables from our main table. Now we want to display it on a dashboard. We want to combine all this together on a dashboard. So what we can do now is create a new sheet and we'll name it dashboard. We'll name that sheet dashboard. Okay, so I'm going to cut all these things now, all these visuals, and move them to the dashboard sheet. So I'll come here, I'll click on the first visual, and I'll hold my shift. That is that arrow that button is on top, control, the control button. So I'm holding my shift. I'll go to the next visual and I'll click. I'm still holding my shift too. And I'll go to the third visual. I'll click. I'm still holding my shift. I'm at the fourth visual. I'm still holding my shift. Then the fifth visual. I'm still holding my shift. So this now, all these bubbles you can see around them means that they have all been selected. All right. So I'll click Control here, and I'll click X to cut it. You can also do Control C, whichever you want to do. You can do. All right. But if I don't want it to be displayed here, I can do Control X. In fact, let me just do Control C. All right. So this is where we were before. So I want to copy it. I want to copy it from this sheet to the next sheet. So I'm going to do Control C. I've copied it now. Control C. So I'm going to the dashboard sheet, and then I will drop it here. So I've pasted it on the dashboard sheet. Let me zoom out. You can see now, all of them now are on the dashboard sheet. All right. So now I want to combine all of them together and put them in a dashboard. I want all of them to be together, arrange them to make it look fine. So I'll come here now. First thing you start with when you are designing the dashboard, you start with your background. All right. So I'm going to insert. I've clicked on the insert tab. I'm going down to illustrations. So I click on illustration, and then you can see shape. So I'll click on shape. You can pick any shape you want. Then I want to work with a rectangular shape. And then I'll pick the rectangular shape. I'll drop it here. All right. So I'm going to zoom it now. I'm going to zoom it now so that it can be big. I'm zooming it. All right. So now we have our background. You can change this color if you want. You can change the color if you want. If you don't want blue, if you want to be like this, anyone you want to change it to. If you want it to be green, your choice. Okay, but I'll work with blue. Should we work with green? Green will not match the background of these ones. I'll be so bad. But let me work with blue. All right, so I'll work with blue. Okay, so I'll simply carry all these ones here and move it. Okay, it's going behind. I want to put all these charts on top this background, but because I pasted this chart here before I created my background, it's taking it under. I don't want it to do that, so I will select this my background shape, and I'll go to shape format. All right, so I will send it backward so that it will be behind anything I on it. You get? Let me go back again. You see now, I want to, so I'll come here I will now click. I'll click on this my shape. I'll come to shape format here. Shape format tab. I'll click on it. Then I'll go to send backward. All right. Then I'll come here. I'll click send backward. Oh, let me go back again and do it. So I'll come here now and I'll click, or you can use send to the back. Okay. So I've used send to the back now. You can see it now. It's now allowing this thing to this visual to display on top of it because this one now is at the back. All right. So I'll come here now. The other visuals, I'll carry all of them. And I'll put them on my dashboard. That is on that background. Let me just move. You can also move it at once. So with your Control X, you can cut it and then come and paste it. Whichever you do, it's the same as far as you have been able to move your visual to your dashboard. Okay. So this is my background with the visuals. Go ahead. Ask your question.
Ma, please, sorry, I skipped.
Okay, no
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, ma. Please, I skipped the part where you inserted this shape, this rectangle. Sorry, like it skipped. So I didn't. The next thing I saw, I just saw that there was a blue rectangle at the back on our sheet. So that's why
If you want,
I wanted to add.
just go to insert here. You click on your insert. You come to illustrations. You click on illustrations. Then you come to shapes here. You click on shapes. You come to rectangle, which we have here. And then you click on it. So it's going to you can see my cursor is no longer like an arrow. It's not like a cross. So it's asking me where do I want to put my rectangle. So I can double click here. You can see it has put the rectangle here. So all I did now was to drag it. Can you see? Drag it to make it bigger.
Okay. Yeah.
And I dragged it by holding at the side. So you can drag it to decide how you want it to be. So that's for that. So I'm going to arrange it here. I want to arrange my visual here. That is my chart here. All right. Maybe this mine is looking. This one is looking. You guys can see what I'm doing, right? I'm trying to just size everything up. Are you guys following? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So I can carry this one here and then decide to put it here. So what we're doing now is we're simply combining everything together. Combining everything together. Oh, sorry. I duplicated this. Okay, so I simply just arrange this here. So we want to give, let's give this our dashboard. Okay, it might not be so straight, this is just for illustration, but when you are doing yours, zoom in to ensure that everything is properly aligned. I think I haven't tried for this one too. So we want to insert a title now for this dashboard. So we'll come here now. I clicked insert. So I went to illustrations here, and then I'm selecting shapes. All right. And I'll come here. I want to work with a rectangular shape as well. So I can click that rectangular shape and put it here. All right. So I will zoom it. Not zoom, sorry. I will increase the size, not zoom. So I'm increasing the size now. I want this to be my title bar. This is where I will write the name of my dashboard. Name of my dashboard. Let's take it down here. And then I'll reduce the size of the background. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you guys are following me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much. No, because everywhere is quiet, it will seem like people are not following me. So I've decided this rectangle here. Well, I don't want this color. I want the rectangle to probably be the same color with this my visual. So I can come here. I'll go to home. So where you have this stuff here in this font area, this font group. So I'll change the color. Okay, so this is the dashboard now. So I can now come here inside the rectangle. I double clicked. I'm double clicking the rectangle. So I'll write, let's say PIP. Okay, so it's writing in white. Let me zoom it in. It's writing in white because the font, the color of my text is white. So I can change. Can you see, but you can see PIP here, right? That is written in white.
Yes.
Okay.
You can
So
change it now. It's not better to change it.
I will change it. Just be patient, please. Calm down. Thank you. So what we have here is P because that was the color I used for that assignment, the text I wrote it. So I can come here now and I'll change it. If you want to change the color of your text, you go to your home tab. You have this A here. You just go down. Maybe you select, you can see it showed font color. So you just go down here and then you click this blue. So I've changed the color now to blue. But what I want, you can use black, you can use anything. So whichever the color you're working with is fine. So I want to call this PIP sales dashboard. PIP sales dashboard. So I don't like the way it's looking here. Let me zoom out so you guys can see again. This is too small. Sorry. All right. So I don't like the way it's looking there. It's too small. Okay, so I have selected it. I clicked on it and I did I clicked Control A. So I've selected all the text I have there. So I'll go back to my home tab. All right. Then you can see here where we have this A. So I can click on it. Let me so you guys can see it. Let me take it down. So I'll come here and I'll click on A to make it bigger. That is this big A, or you can come here and just change the size, your choice. So let's say I want to use 44 now as the size of my title. I want
Can we centralize it?
You can. We're going to do everything. You guys should be patient now. Okay, don't worry. Let me be rushing. Let me just be doing.
Am I the only one that does not have audio?
You are not the only one.
Can't hear anything now. Anything nice.
Her network.
Yeah, it's our network.
So I'll take that as a yes.
We're not hearing you.
Ma, we can't hear you.
Network.
Hello.
I can hear you now. I think it's network. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Better, ma.
Yes, yes. I can hear
Yes,
you
we
now.
can hear you.
Okay, okay.
We can hear
Sorry,
you.
I have to keep audio.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think it's better
Yes,
now.
yes, yes.
Okay.
More expensive.
If my screen stops moving, please call my attention.
Your screen didn't stop, but we couldn't hear your voice.
Oh, so it was probably from my other device. Okay, so we've done this now. We've introduced the visual. You saw how we got here now. We've introduced the visuals. We've given it a title. So there's something else that is missing here. There's a visual that is missing there. What do you think it is that we did?
The KPI. The KPI.
Thank you. So let's introduce our KPIs. All right. So to do that now, we can come here, insert. So we can insert a shape. We're going to use a shape for the KPIs. Please follow this one. It might get a bit confusing at some point. So I want to change the color. Okay, that's good. So the KPI now, the way we work with KPI, the KPI now is slightly different. You cannot copy it, and you can do that, but it's not advisable. You copy it and paste it there. All right. So what you will do is you insert what we have, what we call a text box. Okay. So I'm going to insert a text box now. I'll go to my insert. I'll go to illustration. All right. Then I'll come to shape. Can you see this one that has A here? This one that has A.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That's a
Yes, ma'am.
that's a text box. Okay, so I'll click the text box now and I put it here. It's in my shape, but they're separate too, but it's in my shape. So I can now reference that cell. I'm going to use reference now for the KPI. I'm going to reference this revenue now. We want to start with revenue. So I'm going to reference this revenue cell. Okay. Well, let me do it outside so that we drag it into. Let me just work. Let me do Control Z. I'll do everything outside. Then we'll drag it into the dashboard. I think that'll be better. You guys will get it better that way. So what I did here is I want to insert. Let me insert a text box. Illustration, shapes. Then I'll insert a text box, and so I have my text box here. So now I want to reference that pivot table. That is this KPI, this revenue here. And if you want to reference it, the cell here is what? E4, pivot E4. So I'm going back to my dashboard. If you try doing this, if you come here into your text box and you go and put your equal to, you are wrong. It will not reference that cell. If you do equal to, it's not going to do anything. Let me zoom in so you guys will see how the text box looks like. So this is the text box we're working with. All right. So if I click my equal to here, I want to try and reference. Let's say I clicked, sorry, I clicked on equal to, and then I went to the pivot, and then I did this. It will not work. because if you notice something, it's taking what you're writing here as a value. If you notice, yeah, there's nothing displayed on the formula bar because it's taking it as a value. You get, so immediately you insert your text box like this, and you can see this the line here that is blinking. You will go to your formula bar. So it's like you can see the name of the cell. It's like you are creating another cell. It's like you're creating another cell inside Excel. You're creating another cell inside your worksheet. I told you this place here when I was in the first class. I told you this was the name box. I told you this part here is called the name box. This is where you see the name of your cell. So if you are in G4, it will show G4 here. If you are in C5, it will show C5 here. So this one now is text box. That's what you're seeing there. You're not seeing AW53. All right. So inside here now, I'll write equal to. All right. So what I want to reference, I want it to show me that revenue. I will come here in that pivot sheet. So I'll click my equal to, and I'll go here and I will select this part. All right. So I will go back to my dashboard and click equal to. It's telling me this formula is missing a large reference or defined name. It cannot, when you're in your text box, you cannot reference your pivot table directly. You can only reference your cell. You can only reference a cell on Excel. Do you understand? So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go back to my pivot. You guys should follow me. This part is where people actually get it wrong because this side is a bit technical. So what I'm going to do is this cell now that is under it, E6. E6 is under revenue. I will come here now and say this E6 now should be equal to E6 should be equal to E4. And I'll put I clicked enter. All right, because that text box does not reference a pivot table. So you have to reference your pivot table in another cell before you reference it in your text box. Okay, so I've done this here. Let's change the format.
Wait, basically, it cannot reference a box that has a formula in it.
I'm not calling it box that has a formula because this one too has a formula. It does not reference.
Sorry, it's cell.
This one is, can you not see a formula here? Get pivot. You can see a formula now. It does not reference a pivot table directly. Just take it like that. You understand? That was why it gave us that error. But now that I have moved it now, this one now is not just name. This is a table now, but this is a cell. This is like a range. I think that would be a better way to explain it. This is a table, this is a range. It doesn't want to reference the pivot table, but it can reference this cell. You get. So I'll go back to my dashboard now. All right. And I'm going to do that process all over again. So I'll come here and I'll click insert illustration text box. So I'll put my text box here and I will go to the formula bar here and I'll click equal to. So I'll come to this place here and I will reference this cell. So it's equal to, look at what is showing on the formula bar. Pivot E6, that is pivot here is the sheet name, not pivot table. Pivot there is the sheet name. That is pivot sheet cell E6. And I click enter. So you can see it has brought this this value for me. So if I should go there now and change this thing to something else, it will not give me that one. Let's say, okay, let's say, let me delete this. Let's say I change this to 10. I change this to $10. So if you come here now, you can see it has changed to $10. Right? But we don't want to work with $10. We want to work with our pivot table. So anything that happens on this pivot now will change the value of this cell. That's why you need to understand self. And I know I took time to explain that self-referencing. You get, so your text box now, this revenue text box is referencing this cell, and this cell is referencing your pivot table. That is the flow. Okay, so we have our value for revenue. All right, so we can now come here now and insert a shape. If you do this thing on a shape, it will not work. I know you can write on a shape in Excel, but the way I reference it now, it will not work. Maybe you can try it on your own sha, but the time I've been trying it, it doesn't usually work. So I'm going to insert a rectangular shape, and I'll place it here. All right, so this text box that we have here, we can come and put this text box on top the rectangular shape. But as you can see now, is going under. That is not coming on top. So I can come to that shape format. I want to bring this text box, I want to take it forward. Remember what we did for here was we took our background backward. For now, let's bring this text forward instead of taking it backward. So I'm going to bring that text forward now. I've clicked on bring forward. And now you can see now it's now on top. It's now on top my shape. Can you see? So I can change the color of this shape now. Let's say I want to change the color of the shape to color of the other things we have there. And I want to make that my value now. I want to make it to be bold, to be clearer, and the rest. Okay. So we have this one there. All right. So we want to make whoever is looking at our dashboard to know that this value here is the revenue. It's not just it's not just any value. So I can come here now and decide to what insert a text box. The same process. You go to your insert tab, you go to illustrations, then you go to shape. So I'll click on shape, and then I'll come here where we have the A here. I'll insert a text box. I'll come here, I'll put my text box. Let me put my text box here so you guys will see it well. So I can write what? Revenue. Revenue. Okay. And I'll make it bold so I can be very clear. So we have revenue here. So I can carry it now and put it. I can put that revenue on top of this place. So I've put revenue now on my shape. Let's make this revenue to be bigger so it will be clear. All right. So we have our revenue here. You can make your dashboard fine now. This is just for illustration purpose. Okay, so we are done with the revenue KPI and I want to carry it to our dashboard. The only issue now is if we carry it like this, you carry it, you can see they're not together, they are separate. So we want to join them together and I want to group all these things together so that we can carry them at once. All right, so what you will do is this. You will hold your shift, you will select the shape. You come to this your text box where you wrote the value, this total revenue, the numerical value. You select it as well. Then when you have revenue, you select your revenue. So we have selected the three items we have here, which is the shape, the value, and this revenue. So I've selected all of them. That's why you can see bubbles around them like this. So I'll go to shape format. You get now, I'm in the shape format tab. Then I will go to group. I click on group, then I'll select group. You can see now they're no longer separate. It's not like you join them together. So if I move it now, if I move it now, I can carry it like this. Can you see? Now I can move everything together. I can move everything. I can move everything together like this. So let me zoom out. Then we'll go back to the dashboard. Sorry, I'm not getting the right size out. So let's go back to the dashboard. So I've moved it here. It's too small. Okay, so we have this revenue here. So I can decide now to, oh, I'm not zooming it well. So I want to make this revenue now to be bigger. So I just double click on the group, and then I will zoom it in. It's not giving me the shape I want now. Let me zoom it in. So I will zoom it. Okay. So back to our revenue here. I selected everything. I want to make it bigger. Okay, it's not allowing me to zoom it. Normally, you should be able to zoom it. Immediately you zoom it, it's supposed to affect everything, and everything is supposed to work with that scale. But since this one is not working, we can also select it like this. Selected the whole group. I'm holding my shift. This is what I did. I clicked on the shape. I'm holding my shift. I click on the revenue text box. Then I click on this value text box that is here. I'm going to go back to my shape format. I'll come to this group that is here, and I will ungroup it. So now they are separate. They're no longer together like they were before. You can see it now. If I want to carry this, I can carry this separate. So I can separate it now. Okay. So I want to put them back together. Okay, I didn't centralize my revenue. That was why. That was why it was zooming that way. Oh, I didn't have to zoom. So what happened just now? Why it wasn't? Let me take it. I'm using Control Z back. All right. This was how we brought this thing in the first place, like this. I used Control Z to undo everything I did. So why it wasn't zooming when I was trying to zoom in like this? Why it was zooming like this? Because when I introduced this revenue, when I wrote this revenue here, I didn't centralize it. So it's like it was on the left. You understand? So I'm going to centralize it here now. I'll make it, put it in the middle like this. And I'll do the same thing now for the value like this. I want to put everything in the middle to make it centralized. This is just to make your work look neat. Okay. So now if I'm zooming it, you can see now is proportional. So if I'm zooming it now, it's proportional. You can try to make this one bigger. I hope you guys are following me now, right? Do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm making this bigger. I'm making this bigger. So we are done for our KPI, our revenue KPI. This was clear, right? Hello?
Very clear, ma'am.
Okay. So this is what we do.
Please, are we doing the other KPI too?
Yes, we'll do the other KPI.
Okay.
But like
Because
I
I just want
always,
to follow on how
yeah.
you did it, because I think I did not really get it from the beginning.
Okay, I didn't want
So
to
that's why I
redo.
was waiting.
I didn't want to redo everything again. What I wanted to do was I will just duplicate it. Then I will reference it. I will change this name from revenue to.
Is the reference I did not get, ma, that area?
Let me reference it again then. Then I will duplicate for the last one. That's okay,
Thank
right?
you, ma.
Okay,
Yes, ma.
so this
Thank
is what
you.
I did. This is what I did. I'm going to go back here. Okay. So I told you that the text box does not reference the pivot table. So you have to reference a cell, a separate cell. Okay, so I'm going to call this cell now. This cell now under it, I'll write equal to this G4 for total profit. Now I'll click enter. So anything that is here, anything that is in this pivot table, now this area here is going to be here. You understand? So let's change the format. Let's change the cell format. Okay. So I will do the same thing for this place, so I don't have to do it again. I have equal to. Okay, we don't need to change format there.
I can't see your screen.
Is that for only you? Is that for everybody?
Network.
No, I can see clearly.
Yes,
I see.
Okay. So I think you need to
It just came up now. I can see it.
Okay, so it's probably network. Okay, so this is what I did now. I've referenced this cell. These cells now under there, whatever is here is what is going to be on this. Whatever is on the pivot table is what will be displayed on this cell here. You understand? So now I want to reference this cell in my text box. So I'm going to go to my dashboard sheet, and I'll just click on a cell here, and I want to insert. Okay, so I'll click on. I'll go to my insert tab here. I'll go to illustrations. Then I'll come to shapes. So I'll go to my text box. This one with the A, this rectangle here with the A in the middle. So I'll select it. So it's telling me where do I want to place my text, but I can decide to place anywhere, but let's just say we want to place it here. All right. So it's like a text box is like a cell. It's like an Excel, it's just a cell in your worksheet that you created. You understand? So this is my text box now. I want to reference that cell where we have that KPI. All right, but I don't want to. I will not put my equal to here. I will not do this. Let me zoom in so you guys will see my text box. This is my text box now. So I can come in now and decide to write anything I want to write. It's a cell. You understand? But if I want to reference something, I cannot come and do this. You know what we normally do in our sheet, our cells in the worksheet. Now what we normally do in any cell in the worksheet, you come here, you write equal to, then you do what you want to say equal to 3 plus 2. You do whatever 3 plus 2, you do whatever you want to do and it will work. But for a text box, it doesn't work that way. You have to go to your formula bar here. Ensure the cursor is blinking inside your text box. So you go to your formula bar here, and then you put your equal to. So you want to do 3 plus 2. That's your own. That's your choice. Okay. It's not even working. We need to reference. Okay. So what we want to do now is this. All right. I'll write the equal to there. Mind you, it's still. Oh, I need to reference that stuff. Oh. I've lost access to that text box. So I have to create another one. Okay, still here. Okay. So we have our text box 22 here. That is the name of this text box 22. So I'll go to my formula bar here, and then I'll write equal to. All right. So I want to reference that particular cell in the pivot sheet. So I will go to that my sheet. I'll go to that my sheet. I want to reference total profit. So I'll click on total profit here, which is G6. And I'll click my enter. And it has referenced that G6 for me. If you don't want to go to that, if you don't want to go to the sheet like the way I did it, if as far as you know the name of the sheet, you know the name of the cell, you just write the name of the sheet here, which is pivot. You use an exclamation mark, then you write the cell name. But I think it's best to just go to the sheet to ensure you're on the right cell. So now we have our value here, which is our total profit. All right. So let's insert another text box where we can write total profit. So I'll go to insert, I'll go to illustration. Okay. So I'll go to insert, I'll go to illustration, and I'll come to shapes here. And then you can see this text box here. I'll click on the text box. The one I want to work with now is profit, right? Total profit. Total profit. And that's it. So let me make this bold. So we have our total profit. So we have our total profit here now. So we want to put them now in a shape so it will be colorful. So we'll go to our insert, and then we'll go to illustrations, and I'll click on shape. So I want to work with a rectangular shape, and I'll come here. I'll click on it. I don't like this color. I don't really mind the color, but I don't want to use that color. So I've changed it to another color. So I can come here now, carry this my total profit, and I'll put it on top. But it's not allowing me to put it on top because I need to send this one backward. But just be see, instead of sending this one backward, so you don't send it backward to the extent that it will not be behind your background here. So better still, just send these other ones forward. So this total profit here, I'll go to shape format and I will bring forward. So click on bring forward here. If I carry it now, I'll go and put it on my. I carry it now, I put it here. So now it's showing. This one I will do the same thing because it's still going to be behind. I'll bring it forward. And now I can carry it and put it here. So what happened just now that it wasn't I'll group everything together. What happened just now that when I was increasing the size, it wasn't proportional because I did not centralize these values. So I'm going to centralize these values now. I'll put it in the middle. So it will always be in the middle no matter what. So even if I zoom it and make it very big, the value will stay in the middle. So I'll come here. I'm on my home tab. I'll go to alignments group and then I'll just do this so I can stay in the middle. Okay, so now we want to group. When you are sure you like the way the shape looks, so the way it is like this, I think I like it. It's okay. It's clear and everything is good. So I'm going to hold my shift. Then I will come here now to the text box containing the value, that is the total profit value. I'll click on it. I'll come to this other text box containing total profit. I'll click on it. Then I'll go to my shape and I'll click on my shape. So I've clicked on 3 things while holding shift. You can see the bubbles around them, indicating that I have selected all of them. So I can remove my hand from shift now. Then I'll go to shape format. Then I'll come here and click on group. So now I have grouped everything together. And if I move it, it will move together. If I should increase the size, you can see now, you can see the error we had with the other one where it was the total profit was going to the edge. That is because I did not centralize it. So now that I've centralized it, everything now is proportional. You can see it. So you can make it big now. It's not as if they are one. You can still move them separate if you want to move them inside. But you don't need to do that. You guys can do that on your own because you have option to still select. You can see where I selected them and still change if I want to. But the most important things are now I can move them as a group, as one. So let me zoom out now and move it to my dashboard. I hope that is clear for the person that asked that question.
Ma, thank you, ma. It's clear.
All right.
I've gotten it. Thank you.
All right. So we have this here. Let me make this bigger. I really didn't want to do this at first because I already have. Most times it's better you just duplicate what you have in the first KPI so that everything can just be one size. But the way I'm doing it now, I have to go and be checking the sizes and the rest. But I would not do that because we're just doing illustration. This is just for illustration purpose. Okay. So let's say I put this here. You can design your own in a different way. It doesn't have to be like this. So now you can see the way this one looks now. You can see that this total profit is lower than this one. So it doesn't look like they are the same. That is why I did not want to do it at first again. But we're going to leave that. So I want to duplicate this revenue now. Instead of going to create text box, going to create shape and just do all those, I don't need to do that. I can just come here now and I will duplicate revenue. I'll click on Control D. So now I've duplicated revenue now. What is the other KPI left? KPI here left is total product. So after duplicating revenue, I'll come here now where we have the text box for the KPI title. I can change here to total product. Total product, I think. Total product. Okay. So let's make this wider. So we have a KPI, we have a text box for total product now, but this value now is not for total product. So we want to reference this total product cell. This total product cell is what? I6. You can see it I6. So I'll come here. Let me click on it. You can see. So while after clicking on the text box, you can see the reference is showing here at the formula bar. So instead of me going to that cell now, instead of me deleting everything and going to that sheet, that pivot sheet, and referencing cell I6, I can just come here where we have E here. Since we know it's I6, and I'll put my I. I'll put my I there, and then that's it. Was that clear to everybody? You can see now the value has changed. Was that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Understood,
Yes,
man.
yes.
Okay.
So please repeat it, please. I didn't get.
This is what I did. I said I just deleted, I just replaced the revenue that was written here. Replace it with total product. Then for this value part, the number part, because this is not the value for our total product. So instead of deleting everything and then going to type equal to, like, instead of doing this, never allow me to even delete it. Okay, I can't even work with it here. I have to work with, instead of coming here to delete everything on my formula bar and then moving to that place to reference it, I can just come here now. Since I know the cell is I6, I just write I6 there. You get? And I select enter, and it has changed the value for me. If I don't want to do that, I can just still delete everything. Put my equal to. Then I'll go to the pivot sheet. I'll select it and I click enter, and it's the same thing. But we don't need to do that. Okay, so let me make this. Let me make this bigger. And that's too big. So consistency is very important when you are creating your dashboard. So the size of your text should be uniform. It should be one size, but we don't need to do all those ones now. Most important thing is you've gotten this concept. Let me make this wide. Let me make this wide. So let's say we have this here. Oh, mind you, when you are carrying this group, like when you have grouped them together, it still gives you the option to drag them as individual like this. So, but it's still going to be as a group. Should I removed it, but it's still going to be as a group. Wherever you can see this selection here extended, but we don't want that. I just want to carry everything. So when you are moving it, ensure that you click only once, or you select it only once, and then you just drag. Anyway, you guys will get that. I don't think I need to explain that one. You will get that when you are designing your dashboard. Okay. And good like this. Okay, I don't this one will take too much time. So we're done with that now. Let's see how the dashboard looks. Yeah, so I think it looks good, right? Yeah, it's not proportional, but it's okay. So the next thing we can decide to insert now is I don't know if you guys have heard of slicer. Who heard of slicer here? Who has heard of slicers? Okay. Okay, so tell me what a slicer does.
Yeah.
Tell me what a slicer does. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, a slider used to link. It's used to link
Yes.
all items together.
Okay. Is I think the simple way to put it is the slicer is used to filter items. Just the way if you use a filter, if you want to, let's say you have let's say rice and beans. I won't say rice and beans, no. You have bigger items, you have smaller items. So if you want to see only the smaller items, you use a filter. The filter will show you you can be able to collect all the smaller items. And if you want to throw the bigger items away, you can do that. So a slicer acts like a filter. So we're going to insert a slicer here, right? So when you want to insert a slicer, you will first click on one visual. So let's say we want to insert a slicer based on this sales trend. So I'll click on the visual, then I'll go to insert. I'll go to insert, that is the insert tab. Then you can see slicer here. So you click on slicer. So it's asking you, what do you want to insert your slicer based on? You get, so I can say now I want to insert my slicer based on category. Based on category. And I click OK. So it has brought a slicer. I can insert multiple slicers at a time, but let's just start with one. So it has brought in category for me now. So let's say right now I want to see, remember it was only this visual I selected. Let me zoom in so you guys see clearly. Remember it was only this visual, this sales trend visual I selected. So I can come in and say, okay, I want to see the sales trend. So I want to see the sales of furniture over time. So I'll click on furniture. You can see it has changed. It's no longer the way it was initially when I was just seeing the overall sales. So I can say I want to see for technology. You can see technology. You can see here technology, there was a decline here in the total sales in 2016. There was a decline here compared to office supply. Okay, office supply still had a decline in 2016. But let's see furniture. You can see furniture was higher than the rest of them. You understand? If you want to select multiple this thing at a time, you come here. Can you see this where you have multi-select? So you click on it, and then you can select those two. So now you can see a combined sales for furniture and office supplies. You understand? So, but the issue is this slicer now is changing only this visual, and we don't want that. We want to be able to see profit. We want to be able to see the profit and sales for furniture as well as the profit and sales for office supplies. We also want to be able to see this is profit trend. We said this is profit trend. Okay, same thing. We also want to be able to see the profit trend for those categories individually. You understand? So all we can do here is you will click on your slicer, then you right click. You right click on your slicer. So when you right click on your slicer, you go to your right here. You go to the drop down, you see report connections. So I'll click on report connections, and you can see it's showing me all the pivot tables I have in my workbook. And you can see the one I used in creating the slicer at first. That was my sales trend, which was this one here. So you can see it's selecting. So what you will now do is you will now select what you want your slicer to be able to filter. So let's say I want my slicer to be able to filter this profit and sales for each region. That is why it's very important to name your pivot table, because you can see what is displaying now is your pivot. These are the names of your pivot table in the pivot sheet. That's why it's very, very important to name them. Because if for example, now I don't want my slicer to be able to filter everything, I can select what I want to. But in a case where you did not name them, you'll be confused. Maybe the thing is showing as table 1, table 2. So which one is which pivot chart is table 1, which one is table 2? You won't know. You understand? So let's say I want to add this profit and sales by region, which is this one now. I want the slicer to be able to change that as well. So I'll select it and I'll click OK. All right. So let me zoom. Let me move this slicer so you guys can be able to see it properly. You can be able to see the work of the slicer. So I'll just put the slicer here so you can see it. Then I can zoom that out. Yeah. You want me to see the other one. Okay, just hold on. Now just do it this way. Okay, so I think this is clear now. So Remember I did multi-select here, so I don't want to work multi-select. So can you see what is happening now? I'm clicking on my slicer. So this is furniture. So you can see the profit and sales for furniture in each region. Can you see? You can see that it's changing, right? So if I want to say I want to see for only technology. So this is the profit and the total profit and the total sales we made on the products that fall under the technology category for each region. You can see what the slicer is doing. So let's say now we want this our slicer to be able to change everything, to be able to filter everything in this our dashboard. So I'm going to right click on it. All right, I'll go to report connection. I will select everything on the dashboard. So I'm selecting everything on the dashboard. So I've selected everything now. So let me zoom out. I think this is too small. So let's move our dashboard, our slicer here. So I'm going to select for furniture now. Can you see that everything is changing? Can you guys see that everything is changing? So you can see now.
Yes, madam.
Exactly. So this is furniture. You can see the total revenue made for furniture. In case you don't want to train your eyes to checking, you don't. This you can see what the KPI is showing you. This is the total revenue generated for furniture. This is total profit made from sales of furniture. This is total product. So I can come here now, office supply. Can you see? So the total number of office supplies is sold. Can you see? This is the revenue, this is the profit. Everything on my dashboard is changing because I have linked everything to this slicer. So if I want to remove the slicer from everything, if I want to clear the filter, not remove the slicer. Apologies for that language. You guys not confused, get confused about it, please. So if I want to clear the filter now, you know, I filtered it now, it's showing for only technology. If I want to show for technology and office supplies now, I will click, I'll go here now, I'll click on multi-select, and you can see everything has changed. So if I want to clear all this filter that I've done here, you can see this one that has X here, clear filter. I'll click on it. I'll click on it, and it will clear the filter. So now my dashboard is back to normal, to the way it was in the beginning. Nothing is applied. You can see that nothing is selected there. If I want to select office supply, I'll click on it and to change back. So if I want to see okay, it's on multi-select, that's why it's not doing that. Sorry. Okay. So if I want to select technology, you can see for technology, that's what it's showing. So if I don't want to clear, I don't want it to show anyone. I don't want to show furniture, office supply, or technology. I'll go to my X, I'll clear filter, and it's back to normal. So you can insert slicers based on anything you want, any option. So if I want to insert, and let's say I want to insert based on state, all right. So remember what I said we'll do. We select a visual. Don't select a KPI. Remember your KPI is not a visual. So I can select. Let's say I want to select this one. This sales by category, by subcategory. Sorry. I'll go to my insert. Then I'll go to slicer. And let's say I want to work with state. I click on state. And I'll say okay. All right. So it has given me. This is my slicer now. Based on all the states that I sold my product, that is based on all the sales that the company sold their product. So if I want to see details now. Let me zoom it. You guys might not see properly. So if I want to see details now for
hello, sorry, ma. Sorry, ma.
I
don't know. I was trying to do that just now. He was telling me workbook not connected, connection not found, also.
Maybe you
when I went to the slicer.
Okay, when you right clicked, did you do this? You right click on the slicer, then you go to report connections. Did you do that? If it's also showing connection, if it's also showing
when I went to report connection, I'm seeing all the pivot table name marked.
Then you select everything.
Yeah, I selected everything.
So what did I say?
The one what I'm saying is that these states from this other one that you say you went to insert to the slicer, to the filter and then slicer. And I brought out these states that are there. It's not showing them now. It's showing connection not found.
Maybe it's not select any. You don't have to select this one. I just use one to start it, so it will allow me to insert a filter. You can go and use the sales by category. You can use something else, and ensure it is selected before you go and insert your slicer. So I want to report connection now for this my state. I'll click OK. So I've selected all the tables. So if I want to see all the details for Delaware, so you can see, I can see the sales for Delaware in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. I can see the sales based on the subcategories are the top. I think it's the top 5 subcategory. But this one now it doesn't look arranged. Let me sort that. Let me sort that that visual. With the sales by subcategory. So let's go and look for that. Because the way it looks now, it doesn't look nice. Or it doesn't look nice. It's not arranged. You get. So we're working with sales by subcategory.
Ma, must the charts be arranged?
It's best. It's best is arranged. It's easier for you to easily get your observations, and it makes it look neater. It makes it look more professional. So I want to sort that now. I'm going to more sort option. I'm going to descending. So I'm going to sort it based on total sales and then okay. Okay, I think this is okay. So I think this looks better. Does it not look better in your eye? Think about it now.
Yes, it does. But in the academia, usually we don't expect you to arrange your results. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay. And the academia and business analysis is different.
Okay.
It's different. Or your choice, so like I said, everybody designs. So you can see this. So you can you can see that the slicer is affecting everything on your dashboard. I think you can see that in Colorado. You guys can, I think from all this you should be able to get inside. You can see that in Colorado here. Can you see the way this one is looking? In Colorado, it's obvious that there was a loss. Can you see? And we had minus. That's why you can see this stuff is looking this way. So that's the job of I think the data analyst now to interpret this dashboard. Then the business analyst to now try to get recommendations. You understand? It's going to work with your dashboard and then provide solutions and recommendations to the cost to the company. Can you see here that there was a loss here in Colorado? You guys can see that in the West region. So I believe that is clear. So if you also want to work with your timeline, let's say you want to see, let's clear this filter that is here. Let's clear this filter that is here. 950. Oh, I'm glad you're able to complete this. So let's say you want to see the details on your dashboard based on a timeline. So we can insert here. You go to your insert. Sorry, I did not select. Let me select a visual. So I selected let me select a visual. Sales by category. So I'll go to insert. And I'll go to timeline. Remember we use slicer right now. So I'll click on timeline. I can see that I brought my timeline for me, order date, and I'll click on order date. I'll click on OK. So it has brought a timeline for me. Can you see this timeline here? This is my timeline. You can format it to be what you want. Yeah, but we'll not be doing that. That you can do on your own. So let's say this is for 2017. Can you guys see? Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. So let's say this is for 2017. This is for 2017. Okay, this is for 2018. Yeah, let's say we want to work with the latest year. So let's work with 2018. So you can see all the months here listed. So let's say we want to work for May 2018. Let me zoom out. Okay. So let's say I want to work for May 20. It might be a bit small, but I just want you guys to be able to see. So can you see that my sales by category is changing? It's changing. So the sales I made for furniture in October 2018 is not the same as the one I made in May 2018. Can you see? So now this our timeline is connected to only this visual. You can make it to change everything. You can connect it to everything on our dashboard by just right clicking. You go to your report connections and then you select everything. Select every.
Audio is gone.
This. You can see the sales trend is just showing as a dot. It's because the sales trend itself it has to do with online. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. But your phone was freezing or so for some minutes.
We can hear you. Loud and clear.
Okay. So I don't think it's network on my end though. Okay, so that is all you need to know about creating a dashboard.